Alright, so here are some rules for Hero Brigade solo play. There's a couple things you have to do differently for setup. You're going to steal all these 8th dimension invaders and grab them out of your deck first. And then also you want to set aside the mentor for the team that you're playing against. In this case, I'm going to be playing the heroes against the villains, so I'm going to steal Dr. Cat and set him aside. And you also need one copy of all the main 5 villains. So again, if you're playing the villains, you grab Dr. Cat and all 5 main heroes. But we're going to shuffle these up. And then we're going to stick Professor Dog on the bottom. So basically, it's going to be pretty similar to how the regular game plays, except, again, this is a solo variant, so you're playing against yourself, and I'm going to cover some of the rules for the solo variant. In this case, I guess the computer or the AI who you're playing against, they always go first, no matter what, so sorry, that's a sad fact of life. We're going to set aside all the cards for the first turn. This is going to be the resource pool. And there's a couple special rules for how the AI plays. So we're going to reveal the first villain here. It is the Mime. He goes in the front. So what happens is they also have double hit points. So he's actually going to have 10 hit points. And all the other spaces, they fill with the 8th dimension invaders. We can probably just use the 0. Alright, so that's the villain party. And we're going to go through our normal turn as normal, and there won't be any fighting the first phase either, which is the same as a duel as well. So this is my opening hand. Not terrific, not great, it's okay. But the quote-unquote computer is always going to go first. Now there's a couple of rules for how it chooses its cards. If there is an enhancement that the villain can use, it grabs it. If there isn't, and there's a weakness, it gives you all the weaknesses that are there at once. So it doesn't want that enhancement, so fortunately it gives me this weakness. On my turn, I'm going to play Chill Factor, and I'm going to acquire Kung Fu Jones. So now there's 2 cards left, and basically what the AI does at this point is it starts trashing cards that aren't useful. So it's going to trash characters first. So it gets rid of this card, so I can't acquire it. So there's only 1 card left, and if I don't do anything, it's going to trash that next card too. But I'm actually going to use Young and draw 2 cards. And then the AI trashes the mutant DNA. So now I'm kind of left to play out the rest of my hand, which I'll do. I'm going to play Vasilisa in the back, Chill Factor in the back, and have a chump blocker here as police officer. So that's the first turn. Again, there's no combat. It's the first turn. Now here's where things get interesting. See another 4 cards here. Alright, and I'm going to draw my hand of 4. And again, the AI goes first. This is what I drew. Not bad. AI goes first. None of these enhancements work with the Mime, so he's going to start trashing characters. So he trashes the Star King. I really want that Deadly Duelist. So I'm going to I have to make a tough choice here. Do I want to drop Bert and protect me, or do I want to grab the Deadly Duelist? I'm going to grab the Deadly Duelist for now. Might hurt me. And the AI trashes a card because nothing's useful for it. And I'm going to play Police Officer. AI trashes the final card. Play Johnny Pyro out of my hand. And now we go to combat. So AI again always goes first. Mime's going to go. And he's always going to try and target a hero without damage resistance if he can. So he's going to hit Johnny, and his first attack does 3. And then his follow-up attack does 1 more damage and disables him, which is unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and heal Johnny just so he doesn't die right away. And now the computer, or the AI, keeps doing his attacks. They'll use the front row first and then go to the back row. So, front row is going to attack Johnny. Again, they'll always target heroes first. I'm going to use Chill Factor's ability to do 2 damage to the support row. And get rid of these 2 guys. Fortunately, Johnny's still going to go away because this invader's going to pop him for the final 2. So Johnny's gone, and I have to burn 2 cards from my deck from the game. Ooh. Dr. Cat and Police Officer. This is not off to an auspicious start. And then I can use these last 2 police officers. I'm going to get rid of one of these 8th Dimension invaders just to reduce his number of attacks. Alright, so lost Johnny in a couple cards, but still hanging in there. We're going to look at, this is turn 3. Got 4 new cards. I'm going to draw my hand of 4. Alright. And again, none of these enhancements works with the mime. So he's going to be mean. He's going to give me all the weaknesses that are there at once. But there's only one, so I get this one. And now I get to play. Oh, do I want any of those cards? Alright. So this is what I got. It's a pretty good hand. I'm going to grab Madame Romalda. Again, one of these cards, so it trashes from left to right. Okay. Well, the enemy ship's actually pretty good based on all this, but I'm actually going to use Vasilisa. I'm going to trash the secret weakness because I don't want to draw it later. And gets rid of this final card. Play Bert, the big guy. And then I'm going to use Johnny Pyro's play ability, and I'm going to deal that 2 to that 8th dimensional invader. Now the mime goes, again he ignores the police officer, so he's going to do his attack to Bert. Bert soaks one of those points of damage, so he takes 2. Then he soaks the point of damage from the follow-up, but he still gets disabled. So these 2 guys, I'm going to attack the mime. They each do 1, so mime's at 8. Chill Factor does 3. At 5. And use Vasilisa to heal up. So basically, we go through like this, and once the supervillain's KO'd, the next one comes up and refills with a full party of 8th Dimension invaders. It's actually pretty easy to start, but the more and more you go through it and the more weaknesses get clogged in your deck, it actually becomes pretty difficult. So, Chinese Cackles would be next and be huge. You do have to just set him to 2 hit points because he deals damage based on how much he takes. So he does 2 until he gets to the point where he's, 1, 2, 3, or 4 hit points. And then finally at the end, assuming you made through all the villains, you'd get to Professor Dog or Dr. Cat if you're playing the villains. So that's the rules for the single player, the solo player. I'm going to go ahead and formalize those a little bit, but this is an idea of how that single player is going to go.